Brodes Media.
How about that Landon Dickerson extension? Wow, what a day. A change in philosophy coming from the Philadelphia Eagles. I would have never saw it coming in a billion years. At least I hope that's what it is. I hope it's not a knee-jerk reaction. I hope it's not a splash just to try and please a fan base that's clearly aggravated with what we saw last season. But I'm excited. I haven't been this sports happy in a long time, just as a fan. Picturing Saquon Barkley in a Kelly Green jersey. And I know DeAndre Swift had a good statistical career. And I know that Miles Sanders helped out the squad way more than he hurt the squad. But damn it, Saquon Barkley is a different animal. This dude is a dog. This dude is different. This is a different style back. Now, we need to hope that it all comes together. We need to hope that Kellen Moore can provide a beautiful offense where he's getting a ton of carries. I don't want this to be similar to when I saw a three-headed monster in previous seasons and Kenneth Gainwell's getting the ball in the 2-minute offense. No, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Put Saquon Barkley in the game and give him 20-plus carries to make the contract worth it. Because honestly, it's a lot of money in a position where we've seen good teams with LeGarrette Blount and then a Jay Ajayi trade. All right? With Miles Sanders, so you draft and then you burn the few years you have before you have to pay him, and then eventually you let him walk out the door. He goes to Carolina where they screw up the whole Brian Burns thing. They could have had $1 billion first-round picks not too long ago, and now they're shipping them to New York. Good move for the Giants, but they're such a mess that it doesn't really matter to me. They're incompetent. They're a joke. So good for you. You got a good defender, and you opened up the paycheck for him. But when you allow Saquon to leave Daniel Jones and this and Tommy DeVito, oh, the New York Giants. Watching Tiki Barber right now go back and forth with Saquon Barkley. It's tremendous. It's tremendous because I'm going to watch him go off. He's going to whoop that ass up in MetLife. And I heard Giants fans trying to sort of cope with it and say, so what's the difference? Instead of Boston Scott, it's Saquon Barkley. You're still beating us anyway, so it doesn't matter that we let him go. And as much as I wanted to think of a rebuttal, it doesn't matter. You're right. You're right. We're bending you over no matter who's out there. So who am I to really scream at you that it's Saquon so it should hurt more? It should hurt when it's Boston Scott. With all due respect to Boston Scott. Who the hell's Boston Scott? And he always burns you down. So whatever. Saquon does this for a living. You know, I don't think that he'll be as impactful as Christian McCaffrey was to the San Francisco 49ers, but it's closer to that than some of the other names that I mentioned with how they've operated from a running back perspective in years past. DeAndre Swift, that's awesome. Miles Sanders, that's awesome. Saquon's closer to Christian McCaffrey than not, but it's not Christian McCaffrey level. It's just weird, though, and it's odd, and it does make me a little uncomfortable because I know that there's a billion holes with the defense. Here's what gives me some faith, though. They're aware of that, too, and they were so damn close to snagging another giant in Xavier McKinney. So they know. They have their eye on the prize. They want a safety. They want a game changer. They want someone who is very good in this league, and they want them at the safety position. They almost got that. So it's on their radar, and I have to give them some time because, well, Howie Roseman had a hell of a first day. Now let it breathe, let it settle, have some others pop off the board, but be ready to pounce. And I do anticipate Howie Roseman continuing to prowl. They took a flyer on a linebacker, one-year deal, nothing crazy. They acquire Bryce Huff. Oh, man, I'm super stoked to see what he can be. And, yeah, he He's 3 years with $34 million guaranteed. So he might lack a little bit with the run defense and stopping the run, but he is tremendous at getting pressure and quarterback hits and also with double-digit sacks. I'm excited. That's a typical, prototypical Howie Roseman type of snag. And, yeah, it's great. I can't wait to see the fit. Preferably, I'd keep Hassan Reddick and have Hassan Reddick and Huff. That tickles my fancy more than Huff and Josh Sweat. Just saying, if you do manage to trade one of the two guys. I thought it was very strange, though, and this sort of flew underneath the radar over the weekend, but on SI.com, John McMullen is where I saw this tweeted out, and multiple team sources told SI.com Eagles Today that the organization was disappointed with how the defensive front played during the defensive collapse last season, particularly regarding discipline and what was being asked. Why would that get leaked? Over the weekend, before free agency began, why was this released to SI.com? Who wanted that out? Now, was it Howie Roseman? Because, well, the reports were definitely loud and out there that, hey, they're making phone calls with Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick being the headlines of it. And we want to tell the fans why. Hey, just to let you know, this is what was going on. We were not thrilled with both of them, but doesn't that actually hurt you? Because if you're trying to maximize your value and maximize what you're getting in return, then in what world would that benefit you with negotiations? Yo, Howie, I see it. I see it in writing right there. I know you called that reporter, damn it. I know you told him to put that out there. You didn't like what they brought to the table, so I'm going to use that against you, bastard. I'm just saying, maybe something like that happens. But I want to play audio from Lane Johnson. Howard Eskin had the video. It is Lane Johnson standing in front of his locker, and it says Lane Johnson is apparently not very happy with some of the things he saw and the way some of his teammates may have approached some things at the end of the season. Ready? Take a listen to Lane Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times. I mean, even when you look out the course of the season, you know, what I tell my guys, the O-line, you know, no matter what the fucking scoreboard is, you play, you know, no slopping, no fucking clapping your hands, no sulking after bad plays. You go up to the line of scrimmage like nothing fucking happened, like a robot. And, yeah, I mean, I think something that's needs to be addressed, you know, think as far as concerning next season. You don't want to give your opponents anything. I mean, they see that shit on film, you know, sulking, bad body, all this stuff. You know, you can't give your opponents anything. So
on that note.
So I'm not telling you that he's talking to those two in particular, because seriously, that's not what I'm doing at all. But there are obviously examples of one of the biggest leaders in the room, in a locker room that once had a billion great leaders. Now it's dwindling down to just a couple. And that person is speaking very, very, very methodically to the world that we have some things in here that just aren't going to fly. And I'm trying to figure out, as this franchise builds a whole new identity, as they're looking for a new culture. So I'm just thinking in the back of my head, and I'm putting pieces together. If they are willing to get rid of a few names, and maybe it's just as simple as we can't pay both, we like Huff more than Sweat, we're trying to get younger. Maybe it's just as simple as that, and from a football standpoint, they feel it's not worth it, what Hassan's going to get paid, this and that. Okay, it could be that, but it also could be the fact that Lane Johnson's even telling you there were things that can't continue.